Tonight on the MTN News, guilty as charged.
We are pleased with the verdict, and we want to thank the jurors for their service.
The trial for a Billings man who fired shots at family and caused significant chaos comes to a conclusion. Also,
it's important to teach our students that despite change, we can choose how we respond to those situations, good or bad.
Washington Elementary celebrating its accomplishments for the last time before becoming a charter school. And we'll catch up with the fastest kid in Montana. The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Darryl Bryant made headlines last summer after shooting at multiple people in the middle of the night, initiating a police standoff, then fleeing to a nearby county before a very public arrest. Now he'll likely spend much of the rest of his life behind bars. Q2's David J. has reaction following this afternoon's verdict in the trial.
The jury deliberated for about an hour and a half. The prosecution says the evidence was overwhelming. And it was quite an emotional time as well for the family in the courtroom.
Count 1, attempted deliberate homicide, guilty.
The jury found Darryl Bryant guilty on 6 counts for firing shots at 3 people, including his pregnant wife and son, at the Golden Meadows mobile home park.
In this case, there was overwhelming evidence to convict, and we're grateful that the jurors found justice for this family.
Bryant was convicted on 3 counts of attempted deliberate homicide and criminal endangerment forcible felony against a pregnant woman, along with 2 other charges.
Very dangerous situation.
The defense argued that Bryant took his actions because of the immediate fear he felt.
We did rely on justifiable use of force as our affirmative defense for Mr. Bryant.
Kimberly Bryant, who has been married to Darryl for 22 years, did not want to speak on camera, but told MTN, "For him to say that I was controlling and abusive is a lie. He was the controlling, abusive one. And it's just unfortunate that I wasn't allowed to bring that forth."
Take care of yourself, okay? It's your mom.
That's right.
Okay.
There's no real winners here today, no matter how this comes back. At the end of the day, this family got torn apart.
Bryant faces a possible sentence of 5 to 100 years. We asked Kimberly about that possible fate. She said, "I do believe that would be justified because I do believe he's a danger to society."
And it's not going to get much easier right now.
Hey, you know what? Thank you for protecting my family and letting us know that we're all crazy.
Yeah, you're not crazy.
A sentencing date will be set later. Bryant says she feels 1,000% safer. In Billings, David J., MTN News.
And new information tonight about what possibly led to the fatal shooting of a man found dead in his truck this week in Billings. 57-year-old Randall Livingston was found slumped over in his truck on 15th Street West. Court documents state that Livingston and his girlfriend had gotten into a dispute at the 1145 Club that was separated by several patrons, including Michael Paul Sims. Sims and Livingston then could be seen on surveillance video arguing in the parking lot, which led to a high-speed vehicle chase. Prosecutors say another surveillance camera captured the shooting itself. Sims is now facing deliberate homicide charges. A helicopter crash in Anaconda has left 1 person dead. The helicopter that was contracted by the Atlantic Richfield Company crashed just before 8 this morning in the hilly area near Anaconda's landmark smelter stack. The FAA reports the pilot was the only person in the Bell 206 helicopter at the time of the crash. Anaconda Chief Executive Bill Everett said the helicopter was used in reclamation work by seeding hard-to-reach areas around the city.
You always have hopes, you wish for best case scenario, but when you're dealing with helicopters in the sky, the outcome sometimes is not what you'd want.
The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating the crash. You've probably encountered them, petitioners asking for your signature to change how elections work in Montana. So what are these constitutional initiatives about, and who's behind the reform? The ballot measures are CI 126 and CI 127. CI 126 would allow nonpartisan open primaries, meaning that everyone can vote for any candidate regardless of political party. The top 4 vote getters would then move on to the general election in November. CI 127 would make it so that a candidate must get 50% of the vote to win. If no one gets 50% of the vote, then runoff elections would be held until someone does get that 50%.
This is a group of Montanans trying to improve our government and our outcomes. And We think it's time for fundamental change, and the people we talk to across the state agree.
Now, Montanans for Election Reform needs to obtain signatures from at least 10% of the eligible voter base. Some much needed rain got the Friday started in Billings today. Those clouds still hanging around out there, along with some cooler temperatures. What can we expect as we head into the weekend? Here's meteorologist Jason Stiff.
It was nice to get that rain earlier today, but yeah, the weekend's right upon us. What is coming our way? Well, one thing is leaving is the storm that you see on the right side of your screen, giving a lot of wind and areas of rain in the Dakotas. We still have some lingering rain showers, mostly over central Montana and northwestern parts of Wyoming. Currently a little bit of light rain around Big Timber and also between Columbus and Laurel, but not much more for the Billings area. We had some nice showers during the first half of the day, only amounted to 0.08 of an inch of rain at the Billings airport, and because of those clouds, the temperatures didn't change very much. We started the day at 47, but we only rose to 55 degrees. We'll likely see some more sun breaks tomorrow, but we have other changes coming. Our 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Students and staff at Washington Elementary are getting ready for the end of another school year. However, this will be the last time. Today, the school celebrated the accomplishments of students and staff alike prior to the transition of the elementary school into a charter school. While many might expect an emotional day as they look ahead to one last goodbye, educators say there's plenty of work to be done before the year's through. Marcus Kakova has the story.
Symbolically, it's a big day at Washington Elementary.
What's happening today, guys?
Oh, we're having an assembly.
Rory, tell me what's going on there.
Well, I don't know. This was a big surprise. Surprises celebrating a school at the end of its school year.
We wanted to take a minute and celebrate what it is today, what it has been for years, and thank the teachers and the students for all of the amazing things that have happened in this building.
Part of one classroom at a time. Today, it's one school at a time. 500 Western security dollars for a celebration of choice and City Brew treats to make the day sweet.
What do you guys got?
So excitement. Excitement, energy. I think they're all happy to be together, but know that next year might be a little bit different, and that's okay.
Make that bittersweet. With Washington Elementary set to become a charter innovation center.
It's like saying goodbye to one family and having them spread their wings and fly, but you don't want them to go. We are going to be celebrating as much as we can and staying positive. We need to do that for the kids.
It's important to teach our students that despite change, we can choose how we respond to those situations, good or bad.
Scratch the notes of bitterness. We'll remain positive.
The excitement they feel at the idea that their teacher is being celebrated, it's like they wanted to do something like that, but they just don't know how to do it.
We call it the goosebump moment.
It's just a shot in the arm. It's an incredible thing to be valued and to be seen.
Marcus Kakova, MTN News.
And on the MTN 530 News here on Q2, Billings Fire and School District 2 bringing back an old program to teach fire safety. And later, catch up with the fastest kid in Montana who's been burning up the track for Billings Skyview.
Cute. From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Today, the Billings Fire Department paid a special visit to Arrowhead Elementary, making it the first stop in their revival of the Safety Squad program. Partnership with School District 2 aimed at providing fire safety education to students. Kelsey Boggs has more on the effort to get that program back in Billings schools.
Should you guys be afraid of us in a fire?
No.
On Friday at Arrowhead Elementary, the Billings Fire Department recruited some new Safety Squad members.
We haven't been able to do this for a lot of years.
It's a program that had been in Billings schools for decades, but about 10 years ago went away due to budget cuts. But now it's back.
All of our awesome librarians at the school district are delivering up to 2 weeks of classes before our visit so that the kids have a baseline knowledge.
The fire safety training starts in the classroom, then typically ends outside for the real fun on non-rainy days. This April and May, BFD is piloting the program in 8 School District 2 schools, starting with Arrowhead. Next year, they'll visit all 21 schools in the district.
If that door is hot, do I want to go through? No.
Becky Biggins, a deputy fire marshal with the Billings Fire Department, remembers firefighters visiting her school when she was young.
I remember being really scared of fire beforehand, just nervous that I was going to have a house fire. And then the firefighters came in and talk to us about what the plan was for us, and it helped bring me a ton of peace.
She had been fighting fires for 4 years, but 2 years ago decided to make the switch to fire prevention to be able to do community outreach like this.
It's a topic that's important to me. It was formative for me growing up, and I hope that it's the same thing for some of our kiddos here. It's pretty neat to see it all coming together.
In Billings, Kelsey Boggs, MTN News.
Well, most of us got started with some pretty decent rain today.
Yeah, it was nice to get some rain. I was actually walking out in it. I didn't care. It was nice to have that rain falling. We still have a lot more activity over the Dakotas and some lingering rain showers over mainly central Montana and parts of northwestern Wyoming. But what about the upcoming weekend? That's just about here. I'll have your 7-day forecast after this.